This is the Solid Signal podcast for the week of June 13th, 2022. Last week was Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference, and they came up with a bunch of interesting things. They're going to do some neat stuff with iOS 16. They're finally going to make some changes to the lock screen to bring it into, the same level of customization that you had back with Windows Phone back in 2006. They're going to add a bunch of stuff to Watch OS, and they introduced some new hardware, some new MacBooks, which I think are going to be a hit in the marketplace. But it brings up in my mind the entire idea of these trade conferences and how they have changed. It seems like there was a time that these kind of conferences, well, they were by necessity in person, but they were a place where a lot of people got together to exchange new ideas about products. And now it's more a single opportunity for you to find out what the big guys are doing. Google has Google I/O and Apple has WWDC. And I just recently heard that Netflix just did kind of some sort of a buzz, something over the course of the last week that was all about their products. That's the way things have gone. And it's partially because of the pandemic and the fact that we all have to go kind of remote to a lot of this stuff now, or we've changed our habits so that we're going remote to a lot of this stuff. But it seems like there's less engagement and there's less collaboration than there was. And there's just a focus on the single company and the single platform, one at a time. Is that good or is that bad? I'm not 100% sure. I do know that I am pretty excited about iOS 16. Even though it's not the massive visual change that I think Apple needs. I think Apple's products have looked pretty similar since iOS 7. But I think there are some really good little features in it, and they probably could have called it iOS 15.1 or whatever. I would have been fine with that. But I think that they're bringing in some good stuff that I think that we're going to like. And the same thing with their watch product, the same thing with their Mac OS product. And it's a shame. It looks like the TV OS product is just kind of stagnating on the vine. I wish Apple would come and kind of decide what they were going to do with the Apple TV and TV OS in general. Haven't really iterated that a lot. And it seemed for a while like Apple was going to just let that die on the vine and just move the Apple TV service onto select platforms, because it's on Samsung and Roku and a bunch of others. And it really means you don't have to have the Apple TV box if you don't want to, except it plays really nice with Mac and iOS products if you want to work on it that way. And so it's something you might be worth having for that point. But I would like to see some big changes to the Apple TV OS product. I'd like to see it modernized a little bit. I'd like to see the Apple TV product itself made smaller and perhaps at a considerably lower price point, because it does, technologically it's on par with a lot of these $40 streaming boxes, and it's a $120 streaming box, that sort of thing. But at least it was great to see Apple coming up with these other innovations, even if they let tvOS not shine a whole bunch. It's nice to see that there is some opportunity for innovation still, because, it sometimes feels like, how much further can they go? How much more can they do? They've got things pretty darn good. And it's nice to see that they already have changes. And whatever they do, you'll see Google will change and whatever. I think that in the fall, we're going to start seeing some new Apple hardware, which is perhaps a bit more interesting as well. There have been a lot of rumors about what the next iPhone is going to be, whether it's going to be really a newer design, because, the 12... 13, I guess the 11 also was the same look. And it'd be nice to see if they could do something that, had a little bit different look to it, even if it's just purely cosmetic. But it's just nice to see these kind of changes to make you think like, okay, things are getting better. I mean, they're going to come up with a bigger camera. I don't care they're coming up with a bigger camera. They come up with a bigger camera every year. And believe me, they were pretty much done with camera development 10 years ago, as far as I am concerned. It just seems like it's been so long since we had a truly transformative product, something that comes to change our lives. But I guess we got spoiled for a while. There was a period of about 15, 20 years where it seemed like there were transformative products around every single corner, whether it was, the internet and personal digital assistants and mobile phones, just mobile phones in general, and then high speed internet and and streaming, and it's on and on and on and on. And now that you've basically got this thing in your pocket, which is the answer to all of your hopes and dreams, and it makes you wonder what they could do with it next. And they always seem to come up with something, and they always seem to make you want it to, which is the exciting part. And so look forward to getting new hardware, whether it's Apple hardware or Samsung or any other brand that you want to get. And remember too, and I probably should point out that Solid Signal is an AT&T dealer. If you want to get the latest and greatest hardware, you don't have to do it through one of those in-person situations where you show up and wait 45 minutes and you have to see your name up on the board like you're in an airplane or something like that. Now you can get the best service, including having a pre-activated phone sent straight to you, by calling the folks at Solid Signal, the experts, the people who want to give you white glove service. Call them at 888-233-7563. I'm going to say it again, 888-233-7563. And they will take care of you in the old-fashioned style, when people actually cared to take care of people and not just put your name up on a board and make you wait 45 minutes to talk to somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. That's right. Anyway, friends, that's about it for the Solid Signal podcast this week. I know that it was a little bit weird, a little bit different one, but hey, we try different things, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, leave a comment anywhere that you get this podcast. In the meantime, like and subscribe, as I always say, makes me look good to my bosses, and I hope I see you next week on the Solid Signal podcast.